Welcome to ValueLine's online training video for our new digital platform. This presentation will cover the use of our screener application to help you find stocks that fit your specific criteria. To begin, to access the screener, from the dashboard, we would move over to Browse Research, and you can jump to the screener itself. Or going back to Browse Research, you can access any saved screens that we've created. You could also access the screener under the Find Ideas section, and then clicking on Screener. So to begin, it's important to note, based on your subscription type, you will have access to more or less screeners, as well as the ability to export and use specific criteria. Our professional customers have access to all available fields, as well as the ability to export, while our retail and libraries will be limited. To begin, once we're in the screener, you can simply look on the left-hand column and see all the available fields that are included in your subscription. By clicking on the arrows underneath a certain category, it will reveal those fields that are available to screen on. If I scroll back to the top of the list, to begin, simply click on a field that you wish to screen, such as industry. The field will populate over to the right-hand side, and then to the left of the immediate box, you would click on the down arrow and choose a value, such as the industry is not, is one of, or is not one of. In this case, I'm going to use is. I'm going to choose advertising. And now it tells me I have 29 matches. You'll notice the screener dynamically updates as you change your criteria. So I have 29 matches in the advertising industry, but I want to be more specific. So to add further criteria, you can scroll down, click on, for example, another criteria field, choose the ranking within this ranking, and now you can see I'm down to 2 matches. So I have 2 matches in the advertising industry that have a technical rank of 1. If I wanted to remove that criteria, I'd just simply click back on that field, and now you see the criteria is removed. So let's add something else. Let's try stock price. I would like to see those companies in the advertising industry with a stock price between 50 and 100. And there's 2 options. Anytime you see a bar, such as this, you can click and drag the bar to have the values change, such as it did on the right. I can then take the left bar, drag this as well, to get to the values I like. So now I have 3 matches between 51.92 and 109. If I wanted to go back to my original request was exactly 50 and 100, I can click in these boxes, type in the value, click on filter, and then we'd update. We see I still have 2 matches. So I'm going to expand my universe a little bit in an effort to find some more companies. By expanding the $500 stock price, I now have 3 companies. So I'm going to remove the stock price criteria, and I'm going to add one more criteria just to see the performance rank. I would like, in the advertising industry, those companies with a performance rank of 2. And that tells me I have 0 matches. Therefore, what I would want to do is take out that criteria and go back to the original criteria I had with just the advertising industry. So, if you follow along, you can see on the left-hand side, you would simply just click the criteria that you're looking for, and note that in your subscription, you are limited to how much criteria you can put on per screen based on your subscription type. I will choose one more criteria, percentage return on sales. I'll scroll up. You'll see there's other choices. Last year, next year, 3 to 5 years out. Next year in the range of relative percent to market. It gives me the ability to move a bar, And I can see based on this criteria, I'm coming up with 0 matches. So I will then scroll down again, remove that criteria, and we'll just stick with our simple screen of the advertising industry with a stock price of 276 to 17,809, which gives me 14 matches. So at this point, I hope you got a good handle on how to use the criteria on the left. So let's examine the output on the bottom. I can collapse the criteria screen to maximize the screen to allow us to see just the results, and I can expand the criteria anytime to bring the criteria back. I can sort the criteria under specific different categories. In this part, I'm in the general criteria, which was my industry and my stock price, which were indicated here on the left-hand side. And by clicking on any of the categories, it changes to blue, indicating that that is what I'm searching on. Our professional customers can download this data simply by clicking Download Data, choosing whether they'd like it in Excel or CSV format, and clicking Download. To go back to the screen, I can then look at different categories under my results, such as ratings and ranks. If you notice now, my columns have changed from my original criteria of industry and price to ratings and ranks, which is safety, timeliness, performance rank. And if I scroll over, I can see the additional ranks as well. I can go to estimates and projections. I can go to profitability, or I can go to annual rates. These lists are printable, so for those who don't have an export capability, you can print out the results. By clicking on that box, I expanded the results to take up my whole screen. And again, that feature may or may not be available based on your level of subscription. Closing the X brings us back to the original screener. So let's expand the criteria so I can see what I did. And then let's take a look at what we can do now with the screener. If I go back to my original results, I can then take the screen and save it for future reference. If I create save screen, I can give it a name. Call this my master screen 2. Click on save, and now the screen is saved for future reference. If I go to open save screen, it will show me a list of those screens that I've created that I can simply click on and switch between. I could update the screen, give it a different name, and then again under open save screens, it will show the list that I have. If you're on your dashboard page, on your browse research page, you'll see here's my preset screens. And I could jump back to the screener, which will reset it to the beginning, open save screens, industry, and here we are. So that was a presentation on the screener. To find out more information, our retail customers can visit www.valueline.com. Our professional subscribers and in-library subscribers can go to www.valuelinepro.com.